Okay, so you know that phrase that you see at the beginning of every year where people say, like, new year, new me? Well, when it comes to California and the legislative branch of the government, it sounds a little bit more like new year, same unconstitutional bills proposed. Kind of catchy, right? Well, today we're talking about Dianne Feinstein because she is back at it again, and we are talking about what we can do in order to help stop her from being able to push assault weapon bans on top of the assault weapon bans we already have onto us. I'm going to talk a little bit about why I'm a little bit less concerned, why I'm also a little bit more concerned potentially about the difference between last year and the year before and the year before and the year before and the year before and the year before, to the dawn of time basically, and this year why I think it's a little bit different. And then I'm going to talk about what we can do to support the organizations fighting that. So let's get into it. Today I was sitting on my lunch break and I was browsing through Reddit as I always do, reddit.com/r/CAguns, cool community, check it out. And I see someone post something saying, stop S66. So Dianne Feinstein, I see, is looking to push through Order 66.
Execute Order 66.
And she wants to ban all the guns, ban the bump stocks, ban the shoulder things that go up, and just go after it again this year. So this is something that in the past, I was never really quite concerned with more of an assault weapon ban than California already has, and that was mostly because in the past, while we've had a lot of shitty laws pass and go through, we kind of always had Jerry Brown, and I'm not a fan of Jerry Brown at all, but he wasn't as ridiculous as Gavin Newsom is, and when bills like this or a total semi-auto ban passed his desk, he was pretty quick to veto those and say, nope, not getting that through. And that was good because it was nice having a potential fail-safe for our legislative branch deciding, yeah, we want to totally just screw over all of your gun rights and just completely infringe on the Second Amendment as much as we can. But now the thing is we have Gavin Newsom in office, and Gavin Newsom, as we all know, he's going to sign any anti-gun bill that crosses his desk. If there's a bill that says every gun owner has to pay 10 grand a year in order to own a gun, he's going to sign that bill. Just 100%, he will sign any bill that will come across his desk if it's anti-gun. And that's concerning to me. And I think we kind of need to look at this and think about what these politicians are actually after. We get a lot of talk of compromise or common sense gun control or common sense gun safety acts. And really, it's not about that at all. This is all about chipping away and going step by step. Back in the '94 assault weapon ban, that was implemented federally, so nationwide, and it was a period of time of only up to 10 years. At that time, Dianne Feinstein has a famous clip of basically saying that if she could have gotten the votes, she would have said, hey, Mr. and Mrs. America, turn them all in, and every gun would have been off the streets, or every law-abiding gun owner and every person too afraid to break the law and to not comply would have to turn in their guns or face the consequences. We've then seen a lot of other things in the past where they've just said absolutely outlandish stuff. I'm going to read a couple of quotes off here from Beyond6. He's a Reddit user, and he's just says, "Ah, heck, here's some Feinsteinisms for fun. And yet it's legal to hunt humans with 15-round, 30-round, and even 150-round magazines." Yeah, you're right. It's totally legal to hunt humans with 15, 30, and 150-round magazines. Cool. Banning guns addresses a fundamental right of all Americans to feel safe. Yeah, you know, that was probably, I think that was like the Fourth Amendment, right? The right of the people to feel safe regardless of they are actually being safe shall not be infringed, right? I think that's what it was. That she got it. I think that some restriction on speech is appropriate. Okay, yeah, cool. Here's the thing about that. Politicians lately have been going this route of trying to infringe upon the First Amendment, and the reason they're doing that is because when they want to do some tyrant shit, people start talking about them and making memes on them and making fun of them and saying things like, oh, we're gonna try to push against that person. We don't want that person to be in office anymore. They're gonna make it harder for you to criticize your public officials, which is just absolutely ridiculous. Like, I don't see why anyone would ever support someone that would have that kind of mindset. These politicians, again, are really just looking to control us. They're really just looking to chip away one by one. And with this assault weapon ban, it's one of those things where they're going to say, oh, it's a compromise. But the compromise that they're giving us is, I'm going to take this and you're going to be happy that I didn't take the rest of it. How about that? And that's what it's been for the past 60 to 70 years. And that's really not a compromise at all. They're going to call it a compromise, and they're going to call us extremists, gun right extremists, when we don't want to comply with their laws. And that's just how it is. The big thing that we can do is support the organizations that are actually fighting these laws. The NRA at this point is not worth giving your money. $1 given to the NRA is most likely going to go into the $100 bill suit that they are making for Wayne LaPierre. The NRA is a waste of money to spend it right now. You're better off supporting local, statewide organizations or organizations like Gun Owners of America or the Firearms Policy Coalition. I'm a real big fan of the Firearms Policy Coalition because of the laws that they've been fighting in California. So if you're a California resident like me, the Firearms Policy Coalition is where you want to put your money. This video, I'm going to be donating $20 to the Firearms Policy Coalition at the time that it goes live. I encourage you to do the same. However, I understand that everyone's financial circumstances are different. So if you cannot afford to donate to them, maybe think of other ways that you can help change the culture around the Second Amendment and how you can bring people into this to help see our side. Maybe think about taking someone to the range. Maybe think about having a healthy conversation about guns in a ways that is comfortable for someone that is potentially on the fence or on the other side. We need to change the culture war that we're facing here, and that's the only way that we're going to really be able to make big strides and big pushes in the right direction. So I hope you all found this video informative. I'm going to leave links to the Firearms Policy Coalition and their information about this assault weapon ban that Feinstein is trying to push through again. You know, new year, same political bullshit that the left is going to be pushing. Feinstein, can you just stop? Okay? Peace.